Well, it was a day full of awesome metal detecting, some stunning views, and even a few special guests. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really nice to see you here. Well, last week it rained and rained and rained, and I kept my eye on that weather, and finally I saw that Friday was going to be the only day that was going to be dry. And I called Drew. I said, hey, let's get out and do some metal detecting. And we decided to head right back to that colonial Civil War site. Why wouldn't we? We've been having amazing times there, and we wanted to see if there was still some stuff to be found. Well, as it turned out, the signals, once again, were everywhere. We spent a lot of time digging on our knees and pulling a lot of pieces lost by the early American families that had lived their lives there since the 1700s. Now, a bit of a word of warning. It was cold and it was gale force winds. It was very windy. So the first couple clips you're going to see, they definitely show that. But after that, it calmed down, and we spent the rest of the day from start to finish out there finding America. Well, it's bright and early and very cold. Drew's over there on the other side of the fence, as usual. He's over in the area where the old blacksmith shop used to be, and I'm over here in the side, picking up where I left off. I've been swinging for about 20 minutes for really not that much to say for it, but I got this signal here. It was ringing up like a 50, but smack on the ferrous line. There's no doubt it's going to be iron. But it was giving me a little bit of a conductive target, but not on my screen. I could hear it. So I'm like, you know what? It just sounds interesting. It was all broken up, very unusual signal. I cut a plug, said it was still in the hole. Now, I pulled it out a couple inches and I put it right back in because I was like, this is pretty cool. And it was actually standing on the edge. So definitely beanie weather right now. So there it is right here. See that right there? Check this out. I pulled it out just like this. And look at there. Is that not a cool little bit? Little horse bit. I don't think I've ever dug one quite like this one. It's all there. It's got this little piece here that would have hooked to a matching piece. Like that, and that's awesome. I think a few weeks ago, I got a real nice horse bit, and this one is right up there. That is a beauty. So definitely ties in. It's still, wow, check that out. It still moves. So yeah, this is probably going to be well into the 1800s. Could be even earlier. Civil War period. Earlier than that even. So very cool piece. I'm very happy to have that, and not bad. It was right on edge, sort of standing up, and yeah, Manticore did a good job getting that. So right there's where I got that horse bit. I came over and I got an identical signal, a little lower number, and I thought, let me take this one and check it out. Yeah, more horse tack. This one's a complete buckle. A lot of times we dig these buckles without the pin, but it's kind of neat to see one with the pin intact, so you can really see how it was used. But very nice, very, very nice. And another piece of old horse equipment, and I can almost picture them just tied up along the side of the house here. Well, I looked over and Drew is attracting quite the audience. They came down the hill. I'm very curious about what Drew's got some buddies there. I think you got some friends. See, everyone loves metal detecting. Well, these youngins here have been hanging out with Drew while he recovered this thing that he brought over to me. And check this out. This is a pretty nice, very ornate. I'm guessing it's a suspender buckle, but it actually looks older. I don't even know. It's been over, but you can see it has quite the decoration on it, man.
Yeah.
That is a beauty. Yeah, he's out here in his muck boots playing in the mud, and we've had our friends here. I think they were within like 10 feet of you. They were just waiting to see what you got out of that hole.
Yeah.
Well, right here on the side yard, there used to be a huge tree. I've dug down here and I've had to go through the roots. You know, this tree could have been here in the Civil War easily. It was definitely a big one. I don't know when it was taken out, but I got a 41 signal. I chased some iron there, didn't pan out. Came down here, got a 41 signal. It sounded pretty intriguing, and I think I got something cool. I think I might have a sad iron. Check that out. I'm hoping it's a sad iron. It's been a while. So let me pull it out. Oh yeah, check it out. I love digging these. I remember for the longest time I could never find one. In the past few years, I think I have 7 or 8 of them, and I love them. Of course, the handle would have gone here, and that's how the iron closed back in the day. Big old iron sad iron. That is so cool. And sometimes they'll have the manufacturer on them. This one seems to be pretty plain, but it does not matter. That is a great one. It's at least a couple pounds, maybe 3. So that is an awesome relic. So happy to have that. And yeah, I'll check the hole, make sure there isn't anything underneath it. Well, this next one was giving me quite a few different signals on my screen. I knew there were at least 3 different targets in this hole. 2 of them were iron, and then one was a pretty high conductive, ringing about 88. So I'm like, cool, let's check it out. And dug a plug and saw it almost immediately. Check that out. I think it's a 10. Yeah, both halves. Check that out. Now, a lot of times these are sample tins. I'm hoping it'll have some writing on it. Sometimes they're just plain, but I'll have to get that cleaned up. Yeah, might have something on it, but I'm gonna have to wait till I get home. I want to be able to clean it gently, but I'm not sure if anything's gonna still be left on it, but that's pretty cool. Well, it's been a little bit slow going the last half hour to an hour. Just digging everything, just tons of garbage and nails. So this one I was coming by and I was getting a 51, and I popped the plug and there was a nail. So I cleared that out, but I said I still had a little something in there, and I gave it a little pop, and look what popped out of the sidewall. Something small and round. So I just grabbed the camera because we really don't find too many modern coins here. So if something small and round comes out, it's generally going to be old. Boy, this is very light. I'm not even sure what this is. I have no idea. Let's see. Boy, I don't know, something about it. I don't know. It could be a flat button, but boy, it sure seems. Give a little pants wipe. Yeah. No, I think there's something on it. You see what it's ringing up at. Really low, 32. Might be a flat button. Let me get this cleaned up just a little bit, and I'll be right back. And yeah, this one's got me puzzled. Well, unfortunately, it was not a coin, but I could just see where the shank was on the back. So it's an old flat button. It has no markings on the back that I can see. So this is going to be 1790 to 1810. But it wasn't just a plain flat button. It's very cool. It had a design on it. Check that out. Has that circle in the center with a flower right in the middle. That is really, really cool. We don't find too many with designs out here, so absolutely thrilled with that. And that thing was really hiding in the iron, so I am really glad I was able to separate that one. Well, we have yet another mystery solved this week, thanks to all of you watching last week. You might recall the unusual piece of cast iron that I found in last week's episode. Well, it was nice to see so many people contributing to this one, but the very first to do so in the comments section was Dwight Pickens and Colin Campbell, who let me know that what I'd found was actually a vintage roof drain strainer. So a huge thank you goes out this week to Dwight Pickens, Colin Campbell, and everyone else that helped make last week's mystery find this week's mystery solved. Well, this one was giving me a 41, about 5 inches down, and another buckle. And it's another oldie too. Very cool looking, and definitely seems to be the day for buckles. Well, I was getting a nice repeatable signal in the 50s, and I dug down. I said it was off to the side here, so I got behind it, gave it a push, and check out what came out. At first I thought I had like a table knife, minus the handle, but actually, if you can see here, it's very thick at the top of this, and it comes down to a blade, and that is a straight razor. That is a very old straight razor for shaving. So, pretty darn cool. Probably dates 1800s, early 1900s. So, Victorian Edwardian era, and very cool. I've only found a couple of these, and this one's all there. Well, this one was giving me a 42, nice repeatable, and I got something we find a lot of at these older places, a harmonica reed plate. Looks like it's bent over, but nice old find right there. And I had to say, you couldn't ask for a better view to be out metal detecting. Is that not gorgeous? Yep, those are the Smoky Mountains in the background. A beautiful river flowing by. It's just really nice out here. Blue skies and a beautiful view. Well, Drew's over there where the old log cabin once stood, and then this is the colonial roadbed, and I'm over here on the rise across from it. And Drew's found a lot of flat buttons out here, and I got a 52 signal. It was pretty far down there, about, I'd say about 7-8 inches. And check it out, I got a beautiful green flat button, about the size of a nickel, and it has a really cool back mark on it. I can make out London, so it was an imported button from England, and it's got some laurel around the bottom and everything, so that'll be fun to clean up and see what the rest of it says. So hopefully there's still a few more things over here on this piece of the property. Well, this one was giving me a decent signal, 41 repeatable. Dug about 5 inches. Look at this tiny little early button. That's a little one there. Shank's completely intact. Probably going to be like a vest or a waistcoat button. Very, very small. So that was a nice pickup by the Manticore, and yeah, these are tough to pick up. They're so tiny. Well, just up from where I got that flat button, I got another signal. It was nice and repeatable. Definitely not the best signal in the world, but any signal on this little hillside, I'm going to dig. And glad I did, because check out what I pulled. At first I was like, it's just junk. And I'm like, no, actually, it's a small pair of scissors. Probably dating back to the early 1800s. Just like that button. So that's pretty cool. I definitely like that. And yeah, scissors back then were definitely a valuable commodity. Well, even though scissors date back 4,000 years ago, they were never really available to the common person. That is until 1761, when Robert Hinchcliffe of England finally found a way to mass produce scissors. And he was also the very first to make them from steel. Well, as it turned out, the very first pair of scissors Robert made was because of love. He hoped to win over and eventually marry a woman by making her a special handmade pair of scissors. Well, history's a little hazy as to whether he won that particular woman over or not, but one thing's for certain, he definitely found himself a brand new career. A pair of scissors was an invaluable tool for early American families living in the wilderness, and the loss of a pair would have been just as devastating as if they'd lost a large cent or even a silver dime. So the next time you're out there metal detecting and you find something that you probably would just discount as junk, you might be surprised with just a little bit of research. You might discover a very interesting story behind that rusty piece of metal. After all, it's as I say very often on this channel, it's history that makes a find a treasure. This was a heartbreaker. I was getting a 13 signal. Very low signal, but colonial stuff are ringing like that. But I dug down between two roots, pulled it out, and I saw two-piece. I'm like, oh boy. I was hoping for Civil War, and I flipped it over, and it's missing the front. So that's the way it goes sometimes, but I would lay odds that that was probably a Civil War eagle cuff button. But I only got the back. Well, this was it's not the best signal in the world, but it was a repeatable 60, and I dug down. I'm hoping for another colonial flat button, but nope. I found a spark plug. It's an AC. I guess it's a CP part number. Most likely agricultural, I would imagine, being out here. But I'll try to look it up and see what it fit. It's definitely an oldie. Well, I think Drew got the button of the day. I've been cleaning this one up with him, and it is one of the sweetest buttons I've seen in a long time. Matter of fact, I've never seen one like this. Check this out. I'll get you.
Very nice.
Yeah, it is. Get it focused here, hopefully. Yeah, look at that. It has like the petals and 4 flowers around the inside. It has a fancy border, and look how it's shaped. It's amazing. Perfect shank. I think this one is like 1830s, 1840s.
It looks like it just dropped.
Oh, it's
too long ago.
Beautiful. It's going to clean up nice too. Yeah, man. Congrats. That's. I'd be thrilled with that button.
Appreciate it, man.
I wanted to come right back before Drew took off because he showed me something else he has, and check this out. It's folded into 4s. I think it's a dandy button, and late 1700s. I think they folded it for some reason, but I don't see a GW, so I told him we don't have to pay a professional to straighten this one out.
Yeah, it's a quarter of a dandy.
Yeah. Oh, it's all there. It's just all folded. I just had to show you this one because I was getting a pretty faint 92, 93 signal, but it was nice and repeating both ways. And I was like, man, okay, this one's deep. I mean, it kind of pegged the depth on my display on the Manticore. So I dug down all the way down here between some roots. Yeah, like 11 inches. And although it's unfortunately nothing incredible, but I just had to show you just how deep it got this little brass hinge. You know, about 11 inches with the M9 coil. It's just incredible. And that's running the fast program with response time set at 7. So I mean, it's so impressive how deep this thing can go. And boy, this thing was way down there. Well, I was getting a 39. Not the best signal in the world, but repeatable enough. And I kept digging and digging, and I kept getting closer. I started to hit it with the pinpointer, and then finally I had it out of the hole. And check it out. It's one of my favorite things to find. Old workwear button, most likely. Iron back. Haven't even looked at it yet, so. Oh yeah, it's definitely got. Oh, might be one that I've never found before. Give it a little pants wipe here. Oh heck yeah. Oh, I think it's just like I think it's a train button. Check this out. Let me get you in on it. And then I'm gonna go off camera and get it cleaned up a little bit. But check that out. It's very similar to the one that Drew found. And but I think this one might just be a little bit different. So let me get it cleaned up and I'll be right back. But I like this one. Well, I hope it's coming through for you. It is a really nice button. It says the standard, and it has a locomotive and a coal car, much like the one that Drew got, except his I think said the flyer, and unfortunately his had the iron back had broken through the front. Luckily this one is still in really good shape, and it should clean up really nice. I can't wait to see it after I get it cleaned up. Absolutely love these buttons, and one more for my ever-expanding collection of workwear buttons. Well, there's nothing better than spending the day digging up amazing relics that allow you to travel back 3 centuries. It's a heck of a hobby. Now, don't go anywhere just yet. You don't want to miss what I've got coming up in just a few seconds. And after that, I have a link to another great Finding America episode that took place in one of the best yards we'd ever hunted. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this one. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure. And I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.